Mic check 1 2.
What's up, friends, family in America? What up, though? Another episode of Tell It Like It Is News. I don't do white music. I make fight music. High school kids. What's going on, folks? What are we going to cover today / this evening / tomorrow morning, whenever you watch it? You know what I'm saying? We're going to cover, hey, the FDIC got some pretty decent news for these big banks. I'll tell you about that. Prepare yourselves for voter fraud, folks. Don't act surprised. It won't be the first time, you dig? A U.S. Department of Energy retired fellow sends a letter to our wonderful clown-in-chief. And I'm sure we've all heard about our illustrious Marines peeing on folks. But I'll definitely take a different aspect to that. And just a quick FYI, She Chef and I will be doing a little bit of series. I'm going to bring her in as my special guest on some nutrition information for everybody. So, cool. But first, a message from our sponsors. As always, if you didn't know, holla back at me. You know?
The truth will set you free.
Ladies and gentlemen, the very word secrecy is repugnant in a free and open society. And we are, as a people, inherently and historically opposed to secret societies, to secret oaths, and to secret proceedings. For we are opposed around the world by a monolithic and ruthless conspiracy that relies primarily on covert means for expanding its sphere of influence, on infiltration instead of invasion, on subversion instead of elections, on intimidation instead of free choice. It is a system which has conscripted vast human and material resources into the building of a tightly knit, highly efficient machine that combines military, diplomatic, intelligence, economic, scientific, and political operations. Its preparations are concealed, not published. Its mistakes are buried, not headlined. Its dissenters are silenced, not praised. No expenditure is questioned, no secret is revealed. That is why the Athenian lawmaker Solon decreed it a crime for any citizen to shrink from controversy. I am asking your help in the tremendous task of informing and alerting the American people, confident that with your help, man will be what he was born to be, free and independent.
Hope you enjoyed the message from our sponsors, folks. I think we all know this song. Well, let's get into it, folks. FDIC and their little letter to these banks here. I got this off of CNBC. Okay, the title of the article, and as always, the link is in the description box. FDIC requires big banks to have breakup plan. This came out today. Tuesday the 17th is going on Wednesday the 18th. The largest banks must show how they would break up their assets if they were in danger of falling under a rule approved Tuesday. The FDIC, also known as the Federal Deposit Insurance Corp, voted to require banks with $50 million or more in assets to submit so-called living wills. 7 banks with more than $250 billion in assets will have to show their plans by July. The other 30 affected by the rule have until 2013. The FDIC also proposed a separate rule that would require banks with more than $10 billion in assets to conduct annual stress tests. Okay, let's skip down a little bit. Here are your key players, folks. And not so many of my listeners, but I wouldn't say not so many of my listeners, but most people have dealt with these major corporations, whether it be mortgages, credit cards, or even, your, what they call unemployment check, okay? JP Morgan Chase. Bank of America, which in fact is still trading under $7. Citibank, Wells Fargo, U.S. Bank, also known as PNC, and the Bank of New York Mellon. Annual stress tests help the government monitor the financial strength of banks. The 19 largest U.S. banks already undergo annual stress tests, which are conducted by the who? I think you guessed it, the Federal Reserve. The proposed stress test would be in addition to those. Under the proposal, the banks would be required to submit reports on the results of their stress tests to regulators and to publish a summary of the results. So, what is my take on that? I think that they should all be disbanded, but who knows what type of ramifications that would have. But you guys fill in the blanks and you tell me what you think about that whole banking issue. But on a daily basis, some little background, I deal with people who owe all of those major players. And, quite frankly, I use this saying, I go, yeah, we bailed them out in 2008, but where's your bailout? Food for thought. Moving on, voting fraud. Anybody remember when, who was that guy? Who was that guy that was Mr. George Bush Jr.? Yeah, George Bush Jr., when he went to his cousin or his brother, whoever it was, and was like, hey, we need to take Florida. And he was like, don't worry, I got this for you, man. We won't let Captain Carbon Tax, also known as Mr. Al Gore, we're not going to let him win, will we? I don't think so. And so they flipped it on him, and, the rest is history. So let's talk about this here. And this is a great site. I think you should check it out. Blackboxvoting.org. A woman by the name of Bev Harris. Great informational source right there. Major steps towards global centralization of the election processes. The world's dominant internet voting company has purchased the USA's dominant election results reporting company. When you view your local or state election results on the internet, on portals which often appear to be owned by the County Elections Division in over 525 U.S. jurisdictions, again, 525 U.S. jurisdictions, you are actually redirected to a private corporate site controlled by SOE Software, which operates under the name ClarityElections.com. Isn't it funny that that they always name something for the exact opposite of what it's intended to do? ClarityElections.com, right? But moving down in the article, again, the link is in the description box. Where is it at here? She goes on in the article to talk about how you can verify the results by counting the actual ballot box votes with the results posted. Now, with this new system being purchased, you no longer have two independent sources. So they're merged into one single source, an internet voting system controlled by TILII, with the results reporting system also controlled by TILII. So pretty much it takes out the objectivity or the ability to see that there's fraud going on. So when things happen, going into 2013, because the world's not going to end, folks. But when things happen, don't act like you're surprised that it did happen, because this is why things like this occur. So you heard it here. Telling like it is news. Watch your six. Okay? U.S. Department of Energy retired guy. This is a great article I found, okay? This came from LaRouche Pack. This is a quick excerpt out of this, and this is talking about the title is Top U.S. Nuclear Expert Tells Obama There is No Weapons Threat from Iran, okay? And mind you, this cat used to work for U.S. Department of Energy, okay? His name is Clinton Bastine, chemical engineer / nuclear scientist. He goes on to explain about the ongoing, oh my God, I'm scared. Iran is going to have a nuke. Ooh. Oh, I'm shaking in my boots over here, man. It just goes on to tell you that based off of his experience and knowledge, that there's no weapons threat from Iran's, quote, nuclear program. Not to mention, man, if you got a bunch of countries with a nuke, with nuclear capabilities and weapons around you, why would you not want to develop one with your own self? You know what I'm saying? That's I don't get our foreign policy at all. Check the article out, read it for yourself. Good stuff. You know what? Let me read a quick little excerpt out of this. Drawing of weapons found in Iran by International Atomic Energy Agency, which is the IAEA, inspectors are fakes prepared by dissidents to harm Iran. Any drawing for a nuclear weapon program would be stored in a top secret vault and never seen by inspectors. Please share this information with your cabinet, members of Congress, all Americans, and leaders of other nations and the United Nations in sanctions against Iran's nuclear programs and support strengthening Iran's economy. But hey, you know, they're not going to do that, you know, because it's called global domination, folks, you know, and if you can't see it, at least Kennedy saw it, you know, and that's going on 45, 50 years ago. But, you know, hey, just look and listen, folks. You should be able to pick something up. Okay, let's move on. Here, look, these Marines here. There was a Navy SEAL who had some real colorful comments about the coverage of these Marines that were, you know, filmed or pictured peeing on Taliban soldiers. Okay. And this is what I think about that, you know, and the guy, you know, he served 3 tours in Iraq, earned a Silver Star, 2 Bronze Stars, and a Purple Heart, and still serves in the Navy Reserve. Criticizes Obama's administration officials for calling for the prosecution of those Marines. Now, I don't necessarily agree that you should be peeing on soldiers, whoever they are, you know, but war is war, and ugly things happen in war. I will not be so foolish to say that they don't. But instead of focusing on issues of this nature, we should be talking about the soldiers who have lost their lives. You know, that they never get any play. They never get any hype unless it's going to benefit the status quo and the administration's agenda, past and present. So, you know, check this article out. I'll put the link there in the description box, and you can check it out and tell me what you think, folks. So that's just a quick episode of Telling It Like It Is news, man, and it's sick. It's sick, you know, to go outside every day and see a bunch of people shaking in their boots, you know, over this. And the only reason why they're shaking in their boots is because they ain't prepared for jack shit. Nothing. So, to all those people who don't think that prepping is a smart idea, bam, in your face, because you're doing it to yourself. Player. And I'm out this piece. Oh, you know what? I'm not out this piece. I want to say thank you to all my new subs. Everybody out there. Do what you can, man. Because it's all a learning process. Never stop learning, because as soon as you think you know everything, you become the stupidest MF walking the planet Earth. You feel me? This is AfroPrepper with She Chef Productions. I'll catch you on the flip side. Baby!